Hey guys, welcome to Xbox On. I'm editor Kieran, and today I'm joined by producer Matthew.
Hello.
Who has been incredibly lucky in the respect that he's been able to play Dishonored, the Death of the Outsider today. So I'm incredibly jealous, because to say that Gamescom has been busy is a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, it's been crazy busy.
Yeah. However, Matt, do you want to give us a quick introduction to Dishonored, Death of the Outsider?
Yeah, so in this DLC, which is a sort of standalone expansion, so you don't have to own Dishonored 2 to play it, it's a complete story campaign about Billy Lurk, who is a character who has been in Dishonored 1 and Dishonored 2. Won't really say how she was in Dishonored 2 because it feels like it's still a spoiler.
It's still quite fresh, I would say.
But she's another assassin. She's pretty brutal and she plays very differently to the others. So I thought we'd take a look at some of the reasons I think Billy Lurk is one of the best assassins I've ever played as.
Alright, sounds cool.
So at the heart of Dishonored, we've got another assassin, and she's got some powers which feel a little bit like Corvo and Emily's, in that she's got another teleportation power, but it's got this very interesting distinction to it. It's called Displace.
Okay.
And instead of Blink or Emily's tentacle pull, she creates a clone of herself and then swaps places with it. So it's more about where can you get her clone.
Alright.
So she can actually teleport through walls, through glass, if you can get a clone on the other side. You can't create them through glass, so you don't just have to have a line of sight. But if you can get this little purple clone there, you can do it. So on paper, it's not as maybe fast and immediate as Blink.
But it's got some pretty cool strategic capabilities.
Yeah, you can do some stuff with it that the other two teleportation powers definitely couldn't. So, for example, here, we're trying to break into this building, and she's going to use a power called Farsight, which basically lets her leave her body and go and scout out areas. But while she's scouting, she can also place that clone, because it's basically in her line of sight. It's just outside of her body, so you'll see she's going to swoosh out of here and go through a little hole, a bit like you would with the rats. She appears to tear her own face off at this point.
I'm about to say, with that mechanical hand, it looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, pretty sharp. So you'll see here she creates a little clone of herself inside a shop, which you wouldn't be able to blink through those doors. And then, as long as she's got within line of sight of it, boom, in she goes.
That is really darn cool, actually.
Yeah, and you can do some crazy stuff. You'll see later on she does some mad stuff with it. But I was initially quite apprehensive about the skill because it felt quite cumbersome, because it wasn't like an instant escape move.
Yeah.
Because you had to kind of place it, then do the move. I actually found a bone charm in the game, which are like the modifiers.
Yeah.
That lets you turn it into an instantaneous, a bit like Blink.
Oh, right.
And at first I was like, oh, great, I fixed this not very good move. And then, when the guys from Bethesda kind of talk you through some of the stuff you can do, you're like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they let you know about if
wrong.
you can start playing around with the powers, which is probably one of the coolest aspects of Dishonored. You can do some really cool sounding stuff with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So here, you may be wondering what's going on here. She's actually getting a tattoo.
She appears to be doing it on herself, which I would say brave.
Yeah,
very brave.
But she got to get one of your tribal tattoos. But it lets her break into this club that you meet later. Again, as with all things Dishonored, there are loads of different ways of achieving everything. You can kind of sneak in. This one actually seemed to have a few more kind of story element, like story-driven solutions. So getting a tattoo to kind of sneak your way in. There's more of a... To say she feels more like a kind of hitman assassin, maybe? In that there are secret routes in. There are ways you can kind of game the world socially. Later on, you'll see one of her really cool powers, which is very Hitman-esque in how it works. But when you're in here, there aren't as many guards around. It's a bit more kind of like infiltrating social spaces.
Yeah.
At least in this level we did, where I should probably explain. We're trying to find a dagger for Dowd that's been hidden somewhere in this town. There's a bit of a wild goose chase. I didn't actually take this route originally, so it's in this guy's house, and there are lots of ways to get in. There's like a sort of secret knock, or you can kind of sneak your way in through this club by getting this tattoo. So, again, even though it's just DLC, it still has that huge scale of Dishonored 2.
It's very different ways of going about things as well, because with you doing the social stealth almost, you saying it's got that entire Hitman element, it's very different from Corvo and Emily's very much skulking in the shadows.
Yeah, it feels a bit more, and again, it fits Karnaca because it's very a sunny town, like you're back in Karnaca for this, which was the setting of Dishonored 2. What I also really like about it, because it's a bit more out in the open, you can kind of see interesting places, how they function. So this is like a sort of bit of a strange kind of drugs den.
Oh yeah, I was about to say.
There's loads of like weird dialogue you can hear, and you can go around, you can sort of mess with the machines that people are kind of using for their strange visions. All looks very sordid. This is instantly what we look like after a day on the Gamescom floor. This guy here. I have
in vitro caffeine going straight into my
pull
veins.
Pull the switch! Give me the coffee, please! Yes, sweet, sweet Java.
If you ever wanted an insight to the Xbox On kind of workspace, that's very much how I operate. I can at least testify to that.
But it's got a real great sense of fiction. I've spent a lot of time in Karnaca in Dishonored 2. So, you think, what more can it have to say? But actually, there's a lot of really interesting things going on. Like, every document, it's got all this new kind of lore for you to kind of unpick. Lots of really interesting stuff. And, of course, because everyone's slightly drugged out, you can go around just sort of smashing people in without anyone noticing, which is pretty good fun.
I'd say that's always a bonus.
Yeah, unless you're the person getting smashed in.
Yeah, but I don't think I want to get punched in the chest and then choked out by Billy Lurk.
No, that's not with that mechanical arm.
No,
that's gotta hurt.
We're gonna put him in the chat. Close enough.
So one of the coolest gadgets Billy Lurk has is this hook mine, which you basically attach it to a surface. If someone comes near it, it triggers and it grabs them and pulls them towards it. So this guy here, she's just attracted him with this bottle. You can see, if you look on the wall behind this chap, there's like a little sparking thing up there, just above his head. She knocks him into it. Boomf.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
That's nasty, but brilliant.
I'd like to have one of those just to pull, like, food and things towards me in my room.
I was about to say, there's two kinds of uses for that kind of thing. There's the utilitarian use, where it's like, I'm going to get me some food,
and
drag a drink.
Aim it in the food direction.
At incredible speed, but still.
Into my mouth. I'm going to hook mine in my mouth whenever there's a roast chicken nearby. I wonder if that would work. So another thing I wanted to talk about that isn't sort of particularly shown in any of these clips is the new contract system, which is kind of like a level of side objectives where you can take on extra hits in every level.
Okay.
So you go to the black markets where you would buy all your extra gadgets, and now there's also like a notice board which has got, in this case it had like 4 contracts. So there was one which, this is the one I obviously took, to assassinate a local mime. Because who doesn't want to kill mimes?
I am a fan of most forms of kind of like theatre. Mime has never really done it.
Actually, not. So, and these are people who tend to be kind of out in public. They're not. You've got to very much make your own kind of hit on them. You've got to find a kind of an opportunity. You've got to make an opportunity. So you can just go and pop them in the head. But I think if you're trying to do like a complete sort of shadow run, not be seen by anyone, or a no kills run, well, you can't do a no kills run. You got to kill them.
Yeah.
I couldn't really see any way of getting rid of a mime without kind of putting some kind of bullet in him.
It's not that you didn't look. It's just that he had to be put down.
He had to be put down. So that's a really cool thing. It kind of layers on this extra level of kind of sort of side missions all around the kind of central, mission.
Well, it's very much with Billy Lurk. She is an assassin.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for her to take these kind of contracts.
Yeah. So actually here, I just want to show off again, this is another moment where we're using foresight to place one of those clones.
Okay.
So here you can put a clone on the other side of the room, which you couldn't do from where you're standing because the range on it's quite short.
Yeah.
So you can go in there and then set up this kind of quite cool kill where you go in, you sneak in, you grab one of the people, you drag them out, and then when the other person turns their back, you can kind of hop behind them. What I think is really interesting about this display skill is that you can almost use it as you place a clone some point before a fight or before the risk is going to kick off as like a safety net.
Yeah.
So you can kind of go, oh no, I've been seen, hit that button and then walk to it, and then all of a sudden you're out of danger's way.
You're
again.
miles away.
Which is just like, again, like there are so many mechanics in Dishonored 2. Like people are still finding new ways of combining those skills. So to have like another batch of skills to play with, it's just a huge amount of fun. So this is the kind of crux of the level, which is how to find the dagger in this sort of singer's home. He's got a safe, which has to be unlocked with a song. Which, I actually didn't work out. Here's another incredibly cool use of this place. So here, place a clone above him, and... boop! Yeah, and again, I didn't do that. So I can't kind of claim any ownership of that really awesome move. There's one more skill I have to show you in this that I think is spectacular, like one of the coolest things I've seen in ages. You've got this montage, there's all this action going on, it's all very exciting, but when you see this, Kieran, I think it's going to blow your mind.
Okay.
I want you to think Arya Stark.
Okay.
Okay. And get a load of this.
Okay. What? Whoa! Okay.
So yes, we just pulled a lady's face off.
That's incredible. That's some Arya Stark / Nicolas Cage in face-off malarkey going on here.
Yeah, so, as you can see, you can go around, you can grab any person who isn't kind of already engaged in combat with you, and you can pull their face off and become them. And this is what I was talking about, how it's a bit like Hitman.
Yeah.
Because basically everyone's a costume, and as you're walking around, you've obviously got your energy going down, so when that runs out you'll return to your normal self. But also if you're too close to people, they might get a bit suspicious, so like guards may notice you, if you kind of push your luck. Dogs, their attack dogs, bark at you because they detect that something's wrong. But it's just an amazing skill, because it basically, you can enter an area full of guards, run around like executing them. No one can stop you, because as far as they're concerned, they just see a running guard. As long as they don't actually see you do the act, you can have a huge amount of fun with it. It's so cool. It is just the House of Many Faces from Game of Thrones.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
But just brilliantly done, and again, like, here is a game that I thought it kind of had everything. It's shown us everything it could possibly show us in Dishonored 2, and not long after that game came out, we're getting this with so much cool stuff, loads of sticking swords in people, which is always really good fun.
Yeah, this looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and of course, it's on Xbox One X as well. It will be getting an Xbox One X enhanced version, as will Dishonored 2. So it's going to look even prettier, super smooth, all these lovely textures, the lighting effects. It's a super smart game. One of the best things I played at Gamescom. And here's what's really exciting. It's out so soon. It's out September the 15th.
Brilliant.
So we can start pulling faces off then.
I am looking forward to pulling faces off, man.
And if you're looking forward to seeing some faces pulled off, stick with Xbox On, because we'll be showing lots of that in the weeks to come. So do make sure you subscribe to the channel. Do make sure you give this video a like, and let us know in the comments if you're excited about playing as Billy Lurk. Tell us which of those powers you want to see, and what horrible things you're going to do with them. And we'll see you again soon with loads more Gamescom content. Bye.
Bye.